Greetings from Bermuda, this is BDA and welcome to the demo of As We Descend, an upcoming strategy roguelike deck builder that I've been playing quite a bit of. It's a generous demo, I've really been enjoying it, so I wanted to showcase it off now. So let's jump in and begin a new descent. So there is some meta progression as you go through the game. There are various things that you can unlock, new units to fight with, and various other bits and pieces. But I'm just going to jump straight in, and there is some kind of loose sort of story stuff around the game as well, but I'm going to skip through that relatively quickly and try to get straight to the gameplay to show you what the game is like to actually play, which is a lot of fun. So we are take the role of I guess a kind of commander of this city. We can spin it around like here. And the city basically is trying to get to the core of the planet for reasons unknown. It will progress through 3 biomes, so the traditional 3-act structure of a roguelike deck builder. Each biome consists of a number of cycles. The first biome has 6 cycles, and the demo covers the first 1.5 biomes. So it's not the full game, but it is very generous in terms of how much of the game it lets us see. So the city basically takes that. You can think of that as the place that we go to do things like we would on Slay the Spire that are not fights. So events, shops, stuff like that. But which of the places and which of the events in the city that we can do after each fight, and we will do 1 fight per cycle here on the left before we face a boss at the end of the 6th cycle. Which of the things we can visit depends on which cards we have in our hand. And some cards, like these envoys, will allow us to visit a larger number of things. So this envoy here, we could go to the market stall, or we could go to the innkeeper with it. As we bring it up, you can see the things light up. But we couldn't use it to go to the rally point or the Triker Council or the relic researcher. We will need other cards to go there. And as we hover over them, you can see below each item, it shows you a picture and a name of an encounter, I guess, that we could do there. To do that encounter, we must have the object shown in the picture. So the innkeeper, the brown square, lets us go there with any card. Some of the other things will require specific cards, and you'll see how we get those as we go. Basically, you can get them as rewards from the fights that we will do. So the way it goes is that we will play cards to visit locations. Once we've used all of our cards, we'll then play the Expedition Force card, and that is what will effectively take us to the fight of the cycle. So let's just jump in and get going. So some of the cards that we have that are allies will have 3 stats: strength, charisma, intelligence, and charisma, and that can influence what we can do in some of these locations. Some cards won't have the stats. It's pretty light, and it's kind of difficult to know in advance which. If you have like a character with a high strength, which of these events is good to go to for that character. But I guess that's knowledge that you might get as you play more of the game. And when you first start the game, I just want to kind of stress here that I've done a few runs in this now, so I can see what some of these locations will do when I go there. When you first start the game, there will be all question marks, like you can see there for the rally point at the bottom. Or maybe some of these others. No, the old mentor have unlocked everything as well. So you only learn what things you can do at a location as you get the cards that unlock those things, if you see what I mean. So it keeps a bit of mystery at the beginning of the game. But these progress, obviously they carry over from run to run, the knowledge that you've unlocked. Anyway, let's get going. So with the envoys, we can either go to the market stall or the innkeeper. Let's go to the market stall. So the market stall is kind of a random event, and I am, for the sake of speed and showing you as much of the game as possible, I'm not going to read the kind of flavor text here. I'm going to jump straight down to the options. So if you are interested in that, just pause the video. We can either touch the fountain out to give our ally strength, observe the fountain to give our ally intelligence, or speak to the fountain to give them charisma. Like I said, I don't really know which stat is useful for the allies, so I guess when our envoy comes back in the next cycle, he will be better in that stat. But okay, this one will go to the innkeeper. We can so we've got up here, we've got City Force Field. I'll explain what that is in a minute. Favor, which lets us play certain of our cards require favor to play, and then money that we can spend in the city. So here we can spend 10 copper to trigger a special event next cycle. If we have Charisma 8, okay, so this is an example of where the stats of our ally that we send to the location matters. We can gain 8 to 15 copper. Cooldown 2 means that for 2 cycles, this option will not be available. We can only do this once per run, I guess, or possibly per biome. And the amount of money that we would get will increase with each cycle. So the later we do this in the biome, the more money we would get out of it. And you can see there, the way that some of these events work is we roll 2d6. The stat of our ally that is relevant gives us a modifier to that roll. And the target is we've got to hit 8. And so here it's telling us the probability of doing that is 72%. So it's saying we've got to considers that a low risk of success. Seems like a pretty good chance of success, actually. Anyway, I'm going to spend 10 copper to trigger an event next cycle. That is all of our ally cards we've used. So the only thing left to do is to play this and go to the rally point. So this is the combat phase, essentially, of the cycle. And we get to choose which location we want to go to on the map. And each location will give us some rewards. So this one will give us a reactor rod, which is going to boost our force field. And that's going to be important in these 2 fights here, in the final boss and in the fight against the Bane attack wave that comes in cycle 3. Or we can go here and recover an ancient data log. And this tells us which of the locations in our city can use that item. So you remember I said earlier that some of the locations require a specific object to be able to go there and interact with them. This is how you see which locations in the city are going to need that object. To start with, I'm going to go get the reactor rod. So I think I'll explain the force field in a minute when I explain how the battle works, and then it will make more sense. So every battle, we begin by saying which of our units we want to commit to the battle. At the start of the game, we only have 1 unit, which is the Vanguard here. So we will commit them. Each unit that we bring to the battle modifies our battle deck. So the only cards in our deck to start with are those that are given to us by our lantern, which is the thing that we have to prevent from being destroyed, basically. So it will give us 4 copies of Light Barrier, which is essentially a card that will give us block, and 1 copy of Empower, which will let our units do kind of special actions. When we add in the Vanguard brings these cards: 2 copies of Reposition, 3 copies of Smite, and 1 copy of Heavy Slash, damage dealing cards, and they are added into our deck here. So at this stage we've got no choice, so we will just go for that. As we go through the game, we're going to acquire more units, and so we may then have a choice as to which units we want to take into particular battles. Okay, so the structure of the battle, all the battles take place on a kind of battlefield like this. This is our lantern over here. This is its health. If the health gets to 0, we lose. If all of our units are killed, and this is the unit health, we lose. These are the enemies who will come in over here. In this fight, we're just facing 1 enemy. 47 hit points. This here says it has 2 armor, so this armor reduces damage taken from every hit. So if our unit hits it for 4, we'll only do 2 hit points worth of damage. And the other interesting thing about the enemies in this game is they have a stagger gauge, which is this bar underneath here. So currently that is, it takes 41 points of stagger to fill it. Currently has 0. Once it is half full, so once we've got around about 20 points of stagger in there, our attacks have a percentage chance of staggering the enemy, which will stop it doing from whatever it's doing, and expose weak points to us, which we can use to either do more damage or to disable the enemy or some of the enemy's abilities in some way. If the bar gets fully up to 41 points of stagger, then that chance goes up to 100%, basically. Anyway, you'll see that as we fight. Other interesting thing to note about our units is they have a passive ability, but the passive ability to be triggered requires them to be in a particular zone. So you can see the battlefield is broken down into multiple zones. On our side, we have the support zone, which is this zone at the back here, immediately next to the lantern, and the guard zone, which is the front zone. Our vanguard unit has to be in the guard zone in order to get the benefit of its auto attack, which will do 3 points of damage to the enemy at the end of our turn. Or was it the beginning of our turn? I forget. Anyway, to move between zones, we have to use cards. And the primary card to move is the reposition card. Unfortunately, we have 2 of them in our hand. We can see above the enemy what it's going to do on its turn. So this enemy is going to move. It's going to move from, there's actually 2 zones here. It's going to move from its support zone into its guard zone. And then it's going to give us an affliction card, which is just some kind of bad effect that will either gum up our deck or have some kind of negative consequence. What it's not going to do is attack, so we can safely reposition ourselves into the guard zone. We can attack the enemy from either zone, but like I say, for our auto attack to trigger with the Vanguard, we've got to be in the guard zone. And you can see this is now lit up, showing us that our auto attack is active. To play cards, we have to use command points, and that's the red icon here. Some cards will also, like I mentioned earlier, need favor points to play. None of the ones currently in our hand do, but some of the others do. So this Empower card here costs 0 command but 1 favor. Favor is carried over between battles, and if you want to get more of it, you've generally got to do events in the city. But otherwise, it's a standard roguelike deck builder. So this is our draw pile. We draw 5 cards each turn. At the end of our turn, the cards we don't play go to our discard pile, which is behind me. But we can also, if we don't like the cards that we've got, we can recycle them to draw a new card by dragging them over this circle here. And we can do that 3 times per battle. So you've got to be a bit strategic in when you want to replace cards with better ones. So for example, I might say, well, the barrier card that gives me block, we only retain 50% of our block at the end of every turn, and the enemy's not attacking me this turn, so it's kind of a bit of a waste applying barrier this turn. What I really want to do is inflict some damage. So I could drag the barrier card over the runic recycler here. I draw a new one to replace it, and the rune count goes down from 3 to 2. So let's do some attacks. So the structure of the card, the basic effect of the card is the top part of the description at the bottom here. Some cards will also have an additional part of the description at the bottom, which is the empower effect. So if the unit is empowered, it will also do this thing. And the way that we make our units empowered currently is by playing this empower card, which costs us one of our very valuable favor resources. So most of the time we're just going to be doing the top thing. The barrier card, it will give us an extra 4 barrier if the unit is empowered. The reposition doesn't have an empower effect. Okay, so let's just do some damage. So we drag this over there. Deals 5 damage, but the enemy has 2 armor, so we should see its health go down from 47 to 44, which it does. And then we will, you can see as we hit it, its stagger gauge has filled up by 5 points. So I guess the stagger gauge fills up by how much damage you actually deal regardless of armor. And the little yellow marker is showing you how close we are to half filling it. So when this gets to 20, this yellow part of the stagger gauge will be all the way over on the right, and that shows us that now we have a possibility of staggering the enemy with the hit. So we hit it again, and that fills up with another 5. And we could recycle light barrier, but I kind of want to well, do I want to keep these? I kind of do. I don't want to be stuck with a bad card. So let's just put some barrier on our units. We can also apply barrier to the lantern if we want, if the enemy was going to attack the lantern. Yeah, this shows up here. So if the enemy attacked us, then we would absorb 4 points of damage, and like I say, we carry over 50% to the next turn. Let's just end our turn there. So he's moved, and he dropped the pheromones curse into our deck. And we'll see what that does when we draw it. Okay, so next round, he is going to attack a random unit in the guard zone. If there is no unit in the guard zone, he's not going to do anything, basically. But he's also going to debuff. So if we had a move card, we could move out, but we don't. So we've kind of got to stay here. So let's see, we could give ourselves 8 more barrier, take us up to 10. I think that's probably good enough without needing to empower to give us more barrier. And then let's play empower to show you how it works. So 0 cost card, but it costs 1 favor, so that goes down. We are now sparkling to show that we're empowered. That also drew us a card. Now you can see the bottom part of the spite has lit up. So this will inflict 15 stagger now. If we hit him with it, which we're going to do. And you can see now, because that takes it to over 50% of its total stagger bar, there is now a 31% chance of staggering the enemy. Which we did not do, okay. But now you can see the stagger bar has got this solid part in the middle. And once, like I say, if we get it up to 41, that the whole stagger bar will be solid. That's all we can do for now, though. So we end our turn. He hits us, we take some damage, and that counter attack there was our auto attack triggering, and it did that at the end of the last turn as well, I guess. That has now staggered the enemy, so you can see he's now showing as exposed, with this weak point being visible. So if we attack the weak point, we do times 1.5 damage. So we will do that. The pheromones card we've now drawn, so we can't play it, but if we don't do anything about it and it's still in our hand at the end of the turn, all Molta enemies, which is this enemy type, will gain 1 attack power. So I don't want that, so I am going to recycle it to get rid of it. So that's one reason you kind of want to keep some of your runes available on some of the fights to allow you to get rid of negative status effects like that. Unfortunately, all we've drawn is barriers, but I don't really want to recycle, so I'm gonna pop a couple of barriers, and we'll keep 4 barrier for next turn. If the enemy is exposed, the auto attack hits the exposed point as well for critical damage. We've drawn 2 pheromones cards. Really? Wow, okay. Let's get rid of that. He is again attacking a random guard zone unit, so actually we lost all of our block, didn't we? Why did we lose our block? Not quite sure. I thought we kept 50% of it. Let's still attack. And after the enemy has been staggered, you can see he now has stagger resistance. So on the turn after an enemy recovers from stagger, he will only receive half the normal amount of stagger that he would receive. So it kind of makes it harder for you to stun lock enemies, I guess. So I'm going to smack you again, and then I'm going to reposition. So although that means we won't do our auto attack, it also means we won't take 11 damage. This is actually quite a hard game. The first playthrough that you do on initially loading the game, I think they make easier. but the regular playthroughs I find quite hard. Even the first fights can be a little bit tricky. Once again, we've drawn all of our barriers. This time he will attack a random unit, but prioritize guard zone units. So the fact that we're not in the guard zone anymore doesn't matter. So we are going to reposition back into the guard zone, because at least then we'll be able to do our auto attack. We're getting hit for 8, so let's pop a couple of them. We have no more ability to draw anyway, so may as well play a third one as well. At least we get our auto attack. Pheromones we're now stuck with, so he's just going to be getting stronger the longer this fight goes on. So let's try and stop it going on, because now he's going to hit us for 7 damage twice, regardless of where we are. So I'm going to smack you with that. Can we kill you? We can't. You've got 6 HP. But there is a chance we stagger you. But not a great chance. Oh, that's a bit rough. So I'm gonna apply some barrier. Especially because he's got 2 armor as well. Oh my god. We are failing to draw our attack cards. But we did stagger him, so that's good. So you can see he was attacking, but now he isn't. This symbol shows us he's basically recovering from the stagger this turn. But he is still dropping another Pheromones card in our deck, which kind of sucks. However, once they're staggered as well, you can see the armor drops to 0. So our auto attack is just going to kill him. And that's how the combat plays out. So we won the fight, we get a bunch of rewards, a reactor rod, a fractured core, and an amplifier module. And those are things that we can use in the city. So the reactor rod we can use in one of these force field generators. Drop it in there. We store 20 city force field. So the force field goes around the lantern. I'm actually trying to remember if it's there in every fight or if it's only there in the boss fights and the Bane attack waves. I guess we'll see in the next combat. But basically, certainly before the boss fight, we want the city force field to be as high as possible. Generally, we could probably get it up to 40, but probably not any higher than that. The amplifier module we can go and give to the relic researcher, and you can see there that's the item that will let us draft a new lantern card. So that's a good thing to do. So let's do that. And we can choose. We can either guarantee that one of the draft options will be a card that will grant empowered, or that it will be an attack. Or if we decide we don't want to do that, we can take our item back and keep it to use another time. I think what we probably want to do though is I don't know. Let's pick one that's going to grant empowered. And we don't get that immediately. We will get it at the end of the cycle before we go into combat. Fractured core we can give to our old mentor, and that will let us draft a basic unit. So let's do that. So we have a choice of 3, the Dauntless, the Arbalist, or another Arbalist. And this one's called a Heavy Arbalist because of the fact that its distinguishing card is the Heavy Draw card. This one is the Deadly Arbalist because its distinguishing card is the Giant Slayer, I guess. You can see both of the Arbalists have a reposition cards and 2 steady shots. So it's only this last card that distinguishes the different varieties. Our units can also have perks, which is what these things are here. So the Deadly Arbalist has the Monster Hunter trait, which allows it to hit enemies in any zone if the enemy has fixation. So normally, if the enemy has a unit in its guard zone, we won't be able to hit enemies in the zone behind it, just as the enemies generally can't do to us. Actually, that's not always true. But some cards will apply this status effect fixation, and that would let us hit them. He also has Monster Hunter. The Dauntless has the Phalanx, which means the enemy will this unit will be prioritized by enemy attacks. So if an enemy could target this unit, it will. That kind of sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because it's like a permanent taunt, I guess. The Dauntless I also like because it has some pretty nice cards. So Find Weakness deals 6 damage and applies Rupture 1. If empowered, it will apply an additional 3 Rupture. And Rupture is a status effect that counts down by 1 every turn. But if more Rupture is applied or the enemy swaps a row, it will take damage equal to its current Rupture effect. And then Piercing Thrust deals 9 damage, ignores armor, and if there is another unit in the same zone as this unit, then it applies Armor Shred 1, which reduces the enemy's armor. And again, that's a status effect that counts down by 1 each turn. So you can see that the bottom effect on cards is doesn't always trigger if the unit is empowered. There can be other conditions which will trigger the bonus as well, like here. Having said that, the Arbalist is also pretty good. Reposition, a steady shot deals 5 damage. If empowered, it will hit twice. Heavy Draw shuffles a rapid fire into our draw pile, which is a card that will deal 4 damage 4 times. But the unit gets dazed 2, so for 2 turns it skips its auto action, which is an attack for the Arbalist, and its cards cost 1 extra. So you're really kind of setting up a big attack. Giant Slayer, deal 11 damage and apply fixation. Okay, so that's the buff or debuff that I was talking about earlier in the context of Monster Hunter. If the unit is in the guard zone, it inflicts 11 bonus stagger damage and then moves the unit back to the support zone. Let's go with the Heavy Arbalist. Okay, we've used all of our cards, so let's go to the next cycle. Cycle 1 ends. Cycle 2 begins. So at the beginning of a cycle, we will get to take the bonuses that we set up in the previous cycle. So here we can draft our Lantern card now. In Irradiance, 0 command but 1 favor, applies Empowered 2 to a unit. Sturdy Barrier applies 6 barrier, which absorbs incoming damage. If empowered, it also applies Persistent Barrier 1, which means rather than our barrier decaying by 50% each turn, we keep any barrier that we have. To the rescue, retain, so it stays in our hand until we use it, and switch a unit's zone. That's pretty powerful, actually. Then says this. Let's take this. You haven't. I'm still seeing. I've done. I think this is like the 4th or 5th run I've done now. I haven't seen that card before. Innkeeper. We can side with the shopkeepers and gain 40 copper. Side with the laborers and gain 2 allies, which basically extra opportunities to visit things in the city or opt out. I think I'll take the allies because with 89 gold is decent. And again, we'll get those allies in a minute once we've finished all of these kind of exclamation marked encounters. Teach a unit a new combat card. Okay, so we can either give Dash Attack to the Vanguard unit, give Hunting Blade to the Vanguard unit, or we can give Wild Volley to the Arbalist, which is similar to Rapid Fire, except that it scatters randomly among the frontmost enemies rather than being on the enemy that we pick. Hunting Blade deals 4 damage, applies Fleeting Attack Power 2 to all friendlies, so increases the attack power of all friendlies if the unit is in the guard zone. And the Vanguard usually will be. We kind of want to keep the Vanguard in the guard zone. So that's kind of not bad, but it is a weak attack. or dash attack, move to the guard zone, deal 9 damage. And if we are in the support zone, inflict 9 bonus stagger. So we could use this from the guard zone to deal damage. But yeah, if coming from the guard, from the support zone, it does more. With heavy draw, I like the idea of wild volley and then trying to get something that boosts the damage. I guess something like fleeting attack then would be good. Maybe that makes fleeting attack. Maybe that does make that good because that would let us boost the rapid fires that we're hoping to put into our deck from heavy draw. So, I don't know. Well, that's an extra 8 damage effectively that it would give. The ability to stagger enemies, though, is so useful, and 9 damage is decent. I'm going to take dash attack. That's one of the reasons why I like this game, though. There are interesting choices. I kind of want to. I keep wanting to go back and replay it and do another run just to try out some of these other cards. Okay, so we've done the exclamation marked encounters. Now we can use our cards as we did at the start of the last cycle. So our allies that we got are 1/1/1, not particularly strong. The envoy that we used last time has had his charisma boosted, or her charisma boosted. But like I say, I don't have a great feeling for which cards are good to use where. So send the ally to the fountain and see what the fountain does for us. We can toss in a coin and gain 2 favor, or toss in a coin, restore 12 health to a unit. Our units do heal between fights by, I think, 40% of their health. It would be nice to get these guys back up to full health. It would also be nice to have more favor. I guess we're okay, so sure, let's take that. Heal the Vanguard. And let's send, there's only one place we can send you, so okay, we'll send you to the market stall. Either gain useless charm, so a relic effectively. Oh yeah, okay, so we start with the Innkeeper's Blessing tech, where our units heal 40% of their maximum health after each cycle, as long as the unit isn't fatigued from battle this cycle. Useless Charm is another tech that currently does nothing. There is a later event that we could do to turn it into a useful tech, or we can just gain 1 favor. I think I'll take the Useless Charm. We'll make it useful later on. And then the envoy I can either send to the charm merchant or the market stall. The market stall is basically a random event. Let's go to the charm merchant. I'm trying to remember what all of these things do. So either trade for trinkets, spend 10 copper to gain 2 favor in 1 cycle, or spend 20 to gain 5 favor in 2 cycles. An int 10 challenge, spend 5 copper to attempt to upgrade the useless charm into the lantern hearthstone. Okay, so that is okay. We need to remember this is where we go to do that. But we don't want to do it with this character. We need a character that has higher intelligence. So if we have the opportunity to get one later, we should take that opportunity. I'm going to spend 20 for 5 of this. 5 favor, I keep forgetting the name. 5 favor in 2 cycles. Because this is quite hard to get, so the more of this we get, the better. And then let's go do another expedition. So, this time there's no option to get a power core. We can either do the ancient data log, or we can go to the super grab. Both of these you can see has a unit limit of 1, so even though we've got 2 units, we can't actually use both of them in the fight. Let's go for the ancient data log. So this time we're facing a flying enemy. So it only receives half damage from melee attacks unless it's exposed, i.e. unless we've staggered it. So we would want to prefer the Arbalist, I think. Deploy. So the Arbalist has an auto attack that will trigger from any zone. The auto attack will prioritize enemies in the guard zone if possible. In this fight, it's not relevant because there's only one enemy anyway. So let's get. I want to get heavy draw as soon as possible. We would like to shuffle 2 copies of Rapid Fire into our deck if we're going to do it. So I'm going to empower the unit. That was dumb. That was dumb. Because now I can't put any block on them. Fortunately, they're only attacking a guard unit, so if we stay here, we're fine. But yeah, by empowering them, if I'd played needed to... Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't matter. So, Light Barrier, the reason that's not showing him as empowered is because that's a Lantern card. So it's the Lantern that needs to be empowered in order to get the extra bonus there. That would actually be fine. So maybe since we've got nothing else to play, I mean, I could... You know what, let me try and draw heavy draw. So we're going to be dazed for 2 turns, which kind of sucks, honestly. But at least we've got it going. And we'll put some barrier up because it should carry over 50%. Yeah. Oh, I didn't the last time. And the fact that we're dazed, actually, sorry, that we can still play our cards. It's just they cost 1 more than they normally do. So, what are you doing this time? You're attacking everybody, basically. Doesn't matter where we are. So I think we just play that, and already we've got a 3% chance to stagger. And we put some more barrier on. Again, you're just going to attack a random unit prioritizing guard zone units. We are just going to hit you with that again. 100% chance to stagger. And we can kill you with that. It's easier than the first fight. Okay, so we get an ancient data log and a computation chip. Computation chip can be used in the city at the Relic Researcher to modify a Lantern card. So let's do that. We can either upgrade a Lantern card, we can remove a Lantern card, or again, we can forget we ever wanted to do this option. I wonder if we remove one of the blocks. Sometimes I feel we end up with more blocks in our hand than we want. At the same time, having block is good. We're going to be getting more units in the later fights that we can fight with, so they'll be more diluted anyway. So let's just upgrade. What do we want to upgrade? That changes it to empowered, Plasma Empowered 2, so it will last for 2 actions. That removes the favor cost, actually, which is very nice. I'm going to do that. Favor is such a tough resource to get. The ancient data log. The interface is nice, actually, even though it's this sort of spinnable, very pretty 3D map. That doesn't really get in the way of things. You can just leave it fixed in this position, and it will, it pops up and shows you where you can use it. So that one we can use to get a blessing of Ava, or we have a choice, actually. You can either choose a miracle card next cycle or permanently gain 1 maximum rune. So that's the thing that lets us recycle cards. These miracle cards are pretty powerful, so I'm going to take one of those. And on to the next cycle. Okay, so we're in cycle 3. This is the Bane attack wave. So this is going to be a bit more of a difficult fight. We're not going to have a choice of where we go. However, we now get a choice of the miracle. Rekindle. The lantern gains 8 base power auto attack for this battle. Pretty good. Or Celestial Salvation. Acquire Ava's Answer times 5 into your deck, then draw a card. Ava's Answer being a card that deals 12 damage, inflicts 16 stagger to a random enemy. We get 5 copies of it. That's also pretty good. But it also... Can you say it clogs up our deck if it's a 1-cost card that deals that much damage? Not really. I'm going to take Rekindle because I haven't taken that one before. And see how we get on with that. And then we visit our mentor. And we get to add a new card to one of our units. So the Arbalist can get Giant Slayer. Deal 11 damage, apply Fixation. Which is probably useful given it has the Monster Hunter trait. Maybe we want to make use of that at some point. Or we can give the Vanguard counter hit. Deals 4 damage, and if the enemy tends to attack, also inflicts 16 bonus stagger. Which is pretty nice. Or Distract, inflict 12 bonus stagger and apply Fixation and gain Provoke 1. Forces it to be prioritized by enemies. I like both of these. We apply Fixation. Basically, the auto attack that our guys do will be on a random enemy. So Fixation is a way of making sure all of the auto attacks are on the same enemy, which is useful. I haven't really done much with Fixation before. Let's take Giant Slayer. Okay, we have one envoy we can send to the market stall only. So you go there, do something for us. We can acquire Bandages, card in our deck, which will heal us for 8. Once we use it, it's gone forever. Or we have a 72% chance of gaining 2 favor. We are kind of low on favor. We're probably going to take some damage in this battle, as having Bandages is nice. On all the cards, by the way, the icon in the middle here is the rarity of the card. So a bronze is basic. Have we got any non-basic? Yes, this one here is a rare card. So they will obviously generally be better. I don't love the fact we've only got 2 favor. But I think we can get by without it. The only thing we need favor for is Empower. So I'm going to take the Bandages. And then we will prepare the defenses by either going to our old mentor, which will let us draft a unit, or go to the forum, which will be essentially a random event. Give me the random event. What's better, offense or defense? So we can either improve attack for 1 battle or improve armor for 1 battle. I think well, if we improve our attack, those multi-attacks of the Arbalist are going to do a lot more damage. With Fixation, maybe we can burn down enemies really quickly. Let's go with attack. We've got to choose who we want to enhance. I'm going to enhance the Arbalist because of the fact he's got those multi-attacks. Then let's end cycle 3. And face the enemies. Silent Trumpeteer. I feel like this should be kind of like a trumpet sound for that. Okay, so we can use 2 units for this fight, which is good. We have 2. Our Arbalist is slightly damaged, but that's why we took the Bandages. You're going to start by doing some special action. So while you're thinking about that, we're going to do a dash attack on you. That also gets us into the guard zone, so we can start doing our auto attack. I would like to shuffle 2 copies of that. We've got 15 cards in our draw pile, though. The odds of drawing our 1 in power card are pretty low. I mean, this card doesn't exhaust, so we can play it again later. I will play it now for sure. And I'm just going to hit you again. We've already almost got you up to the point where we have a chance of staggering you. I'll put some barrier on, why not? As you can see now that our lantern has got the basic 10 health, but this plus 20 here is the force field. That's why I was saying it is useful to get as much force field as we can before these big battles to protect the lantern. So he summons some minions. This guy is going to apply a buff. This guy is going to put up a barrier and give us an affliction card. And he is going to hit our lantern for 10, which is kind of a lot. His attack happens before our auto attacks. So if we want to stop that happening, we need to stagger him. Now, there's a 17% chance with that, a 42% chance with that. So even though he's got 1 armor and we're only doing 4 damage 4 times, I think that's worth it. I really don't want him hitting our lantern because our force field as well will carry over for the rest of the run. So obviously we want to preserve that for the big boss at the end of the biome. So I'm gonna kind of ignore these guys, I think, at least for now. Let's try and stagger you. Which we failed to do. I want to try and draw another attack. I think I do. Okay. 58% chance to stagger with that. Yes. Great. So now he's not going to hit our lantern, he's just going to spend his turn recovering. Now you can see, in addition to the usual weak point that's been exposed, that when we hit it does times 1.5 damage, this guy's also exposed another weak point, which we can target. It's got 13 hit points. If we destroy it, it prevents him spawning additional minions. Hitting the weak point still does damage to the enemy as well, so it's just whether we want to do 1.5 times 1.5 damage, or whether we just want to do times 1 damage, but potentially have this beneficial effect. However, now we can do nothing because we're out of energy. So and again, which one he attacks is random because we haven't applied fixation. Okay, now he's mad and he's going to attack our lantern again and do 11 damage this time. So now's probably a good time to put some barrier on there. So let's do that. Do we want to use this now? Probably. It's 0 cost, but single use, so this is the blessing, obviously, that we got. So we'll give him a attack. Oh, I could have empowered, actually, to put extra barrier on. Probably should have done that. You guys are both buffing. I'm kind of tempted just to ignore these guys. Maybe that's a mistake. We can only play Empower twice, so I kind of want to use it when it's most effective. He's got stagger resistance because he's just recovered from a stagger. So I'm not going to be able to do a lot there. I'm going to cycle that and maybe get another barrier. We've got bandages. Not really what we want right now. I want to hold on to that for a time when we might actually need it. He only retains 50% of his barrier each turn, so maybe I will target one of the minions. 62% chance of staggering it. did not do. I want to empower somebody. Maybe empowering the Arbalists is good. They have strong attacks. I guess because we boosted them the attack power. We gave that temporary bonus to them. Okay, I think that's all I can do this turn. So, we've lost some force field. You're attacking for 9 twice to any unit in the guard zone. So this is why To the Rescue is such a great card to have. It means we can get these guys out of there and not be hit for 18. Dread, okay, just clogs up our hand. We could cycle it, but doesn't really... there's no real benefit to doing that. We could heavy draw and get the benefit of an extra copy. We could hit you twice. That's not going to do anything. I think we heavy draw. And then I'm gonna heavy slash you. And then we're gonna get you out of there. Okay, 5 damage 4 times. I really want to stop you doing 12 damage to him. 20% chance. It's the only attack card I've got. I guess we've got the auto attacks as well. You're not auto attacking because you're still dazed. These guys would auto attack if we move them back, which we will do. We've got to go for it. Did he lose any of his barrier? I feel like he didn't lose any of his barrier. Okay, reposition you. I'm gonna cycle, try and get another attack. Did not. We're out of runes now, so we can't cycle any more cards. So I guess just put some block up on you. Absorb 4 of that damage. We're gonna end up losing most of our force field, which is pretty rough. And if this goes on too long, obviously, we may lose our this guy and lose the game. You are now exposed, which is great. 5 damage 4 times on your weak spot times 1.5 will kill you. I now wish I'd used the bandages on this unit to heal them up because of the fact that health carries over. However, because they heal for 40%, they're actually going to be fine anyway. Get out of here. All right, we got a corrupted core and a dream fruit. But we only have 5 force fields, so we need to do something about that. Okay, you gave us 6 favor. I guess that was a result of an action we did previously. We can gain a brute, gain an investigator. To improve our broken core thing, we needed intellect, so we want the investigator. And then we need to go back to her. Teach unit a new combat card. Pry open 12 damage and apply armor shred 2 with possibly 8 bonus stagger if they are empowered on the vanguard. Or we do hunting blade, or we do preparation. Yeah, they get this bonus if they're just in the guard zone, which they almost always will be, and that could really boost the arbalist. Let's take it. Still not convinced it's better than the other option, but... okay, investigator, why don't you go here? Because I'm pretty sure this was the place where we could upgrade that, right? No, it's a random event. I think it was last time. Maybe this is a random event as well. Okay, anyway, we have an option to send in a unit. It'll take 50% damage and become fatigued, but we get to upgrade one of its cards. So in other words, 50% damage and it's not going to heal this cycle. But we still have bandages? We do still have bandages, so I'm less worried about that. So let's... who do we want to upgrade? Do we go in on the all in on the Arbalist? Do it. Giant Slayer slightly increases the damage. If you draw, puts on upgraded rapid fire, 6 damage, 4 hits. Or steady shot, 5 damage to 7. It's got to be heavy draw. Okay, visiting there will trigger a special event. Okay, let's send our envoy there. Charisma 7 check. Gain either 1 favor or trigger cooldown 4. Strength 11, gain 3 favor, or just decline. That's our best option. We succeeded, we get a favor. That's helpful. Corrupted Core we can give to the Troika Council, which will let us draft a new rare unit. Bell Maiden is about... what's it about? Like every time I haven't taken the Bell Maiden before. Each time you first one of these cards costs 1 less. That's pretty nice. Each turn? Wow. Okay, that really is good. But both of their cards do have a favor cost. So Blinding Beam, deal 10 damage and apply Feeble 2. Blast Wave, 10 damage and inflict 10 bonus stagger to an enemy and all other enemies in that row. It's pretty powerful. Bombardier is good. It gives us things like explosive ammo. So it's again, it's a kind of ranged type class. Explosive ammo deals additional damage to all enemies, which is quite nice. Reconnaissance gives us card draw. Auto attacks deal +2 bonus damage, but the unit gains dazed 1 if it moves. Or a 1-punch Guardian. I've not seen this guy before. So we've got a reposition, 2 Reckless Strikes, deal 6 damage 3 times, but gain dazed 2. But again, that would work with the what am I thinking of? With Hunting Blade and the fleeting attack. A 1-punch deal 15 damage. And this, instead of auto-attacking, applies barrier to self. And it can be done in either zone. Let's try the Guardian. And maybe some synergy there. Okay, Dream Fruit. Who wants that? The Caretaker. Restore a unit to maximum health? Well, that's quite helpful. Or forget a combat card on one of our units. Yeah, give me maximum health on the Arbalist. And out we go on an expedition. Okay, so our force field is 5, so that's bad. So we need more. So we need to go get this reactor rod. Just not a question. We've only got 2 more cycles to do that before we've got to face the boss. Okay, we can only take 2 units. So we are facing a guy with 4 armor. Wow, that's pretty rough. Who has things that shred armor? Not you. The Arbalist, I think, doesn't either. That's going to reduce the utility of that. Did we just not take? I think we just didn't take the options that allowed us to shred armor. That's a bit unfortunate. That is going to make our life much harder. I don't think the Guardian helps. I'm going to suppose one punch. Well, I think we still want the benefits of Hunting Blade to make the Arbalist attacks really do anything at all. So let's go with that. This could be a little bit rough. 59 points of damage to guarantee a stagger. You are moving and buffing, but not attacking, so we will reposition everybody so they can do their auto attacks. Starting with a heavy slash seems like a good way to go. I guess that's both doing the same damage no matter who does it. End. Two stacks of Devourer. The enemy gains attack power after every time it attacks. Okay. Maybe we should not let it attack then. What do we do? Do we 11 damage or do we play heavy draw, which is going to be 2 damage? Why is it saying times 0 hits? I think it's times 4 because it's 1 per unit that we can actually see. So that would be 8 damage, basically 2 damage 4 times. Yeah, maybe heavy draw is not the thing to do this time. I really would like an attack, so I'm going to cycle 1. Okay. And I'll put some block up on you. Two. Okay, so this time you are attacking. Prioritizing guard zone units. Okay. Man, this is gonna... Okay, we staggered him, which is great. We can hit his shell to reduce his armor to 0, and we can barrier generation, or we can just go for damage. I guess we do that. We don't want the fight to be prolonged even longer than it needs to be. I'm going to cycle another card. I need more attacks. That is kind of bad timing. Gonna get no benefit from the fleeting attack, but we'll do the 4 damage. Interesting, his weak spots are still visible, but he's not staggered. Or he is exposed, but he can still attack. Okay, I thought they never attacked when they were exposed, but clearly that's not true. Yeah, regular fights we don't get the benefit of the force field of the city, because I guess we're outside of the city for this fight. So it's only the boss fight at the end and that wave fight that we did that where we get that. So what we could do is reposition you and then do a dash attack. Although, actually, the extra stagger is probably not relevant. And then just shoot you in your weak point. And then empower... who... Thing is, he's going to recover from stagger this turn, so extra stagger is not going to be very useful. We could empower the... Let's empower the lantern so we can get more barrier. And you're attacking them, so let's give them that now. You don't have any armor anymore, though. That's helpful. Oh, that's because we destroyed his weak spot. I didn't realize that would get rid of the armor as well. Great, good. You were hitting them for 13. We can't kill you. I don't want to reposition, so give me a big attack. I think that really helps us. It gives us 1 more point of damage. I better give him some protection, given we can't kill. Oh, got 1 HP. However, that did give us time to get bandages back, which is great. And now we can finish off with that. Nice. Okay, reactor rod and amplifier module. The reactor rod will go in there. Get some more force field back to the city. Amplifier module. The only person who wants it is you, which will let us draft a lantern card. I felt like we were a bit short of attacks maybe, so give me an attack option. End of cycle 4. Start cycle 5. So this is the last regular cycle before the boss battle. Each unit a new combat card. Guardian, apply barrier to self and remove all dazed. That is helpful. Apply 4 barrier to a friendly unit. If it's a unit, move it to the support zone. Apply 8 barrier. If it's in the guard zone, deal 12 damage to all guard zone enemies. Oof. That seems good, but that also seems... Yeah, I know. Let's go for blast barrier. Choose a perk for a unit. Okay. Guardian adds blindside. Whenever this moves to the support zone, its next attack applies feeble 2. Or the Arbalest, this gains an extra hit on its auto attack. That's pretty good. Quick guard. This begins battles in the guard zone. I think I'm going to take a laden magazine. We are really building the Arbalest up to be our main damage dealer. We will draft a lantern card. Aura of Light, apply an empowered to all friendlies. Imbue weapon, apply attack power 2. It does cost a favor, but again, that could be good on the Arbalest. Or Seeker Beam, deal 11 damage and apply fixation. These cards with the blue icons here have a limited number of uses per battle, so we can only do this once per battle. Same with that. How many cards do we have that need favor? Blast barrier and empower. So maybe I'll take that. Investigator. I'm sure it was wasn't it the charm merchant? Yes. Attempt to repair our useless charm. Success. Well, we're going to get it back in a minute. Envoy. Let's go to the fountain. Trigger a special event. Gain 25 copper or gain 1 to 3 favor. Give me the favor. Okay, 1, fine. Hoping for more, but I can live with it. Shopkeeper, I suppose we've got some money. Spend 25 to gain 2 favor, which is more than we have capacity for. Or 25 to acquire bandages. And a third option that's just not available to us. I think I'll take some more bandages. And we can do that action multiple times. Well, I think 1 bandage is enough. I don't want to completely clog up the deck. Okay. This is our last chance to get another power reactor rod, so let's do it. That final boss that's coming up is pretty bad. This seems like it might be a good opportunity for blast barrier, given there are a lot of enemies and they're all in the guard zone. And the arbalist is just good, so we're going to take them. Okay. 1 punch, 15 damage. You're moving. Actually, they're not all going to be. Only 2 of them are moving. It's going to give us an affliction card. Doesn't really. Well, I suppose, yeah, it does. Yeah, let's not get an affliction card if we can avoid it. Great. You're going to heal for 9 as well. That's a little bit annoying. Let's put some barrier up here. I want to save my draws. And yeah, these guys give themselves barrier. Okay, we need to get you into the guard zone. So that we can do that. And then, so you're stunned, you're attacking. You're doing 9 damage, but we've got 9 barrier anyway, so I think I would rather... Well, do I finish you off, or do I use this? Oh, I still can't hit the back guys. I've still got to prefer the front guys. I mean, this is a guaranteed kill, so let's do that. And the auto attack will kill that anyway. Okay, Reckless Strike, 6 damage 3 times. Kills you. So these guys, you can see, have the death trigger, so when it dies, it puts a debuff into our deck. We can do a Reckless Strike on you as well, which is great. Okay, I quite like these guys. This is my first time taking them, but they're pretty punchy. Okay, Reactor Rod in there. Force Field now up to 45, which is much better position to be in. Let's draft a rare lantern card. And move to cycle 6. Okay. Collected the Lantern Hearthstone. I think that's the relic, I guess, that we just got back. Draft Lantern action. Hyper Beam. Deal 25 damage and inflict 25 bonus stagger. Safety Bubble apply 8. I mean, that's the rare. Oh no, so we've got 2 rare ones. Safety Bubble apply 8 barrier. Or Shelter apply 6 barrier and Gift of Light increases barrier received from friendly sources. I just gotta get the Hyper Beam. Teach unit a new combat card. We already have Heavy Draw. I don't think we need another one. We already have Blast Barrier. I don't think we need another one. Firebomb applies Burning 4, so it's the damage over time. But that seems kind of weak compared to what we've already got. So I'm actually just going to skip. Envoy, our charismatic envoy. Where should we send you? Chance encounter. Or a random event in here. Let's go with the random event in here. We gain 2 favor, or we can gain Bile Serum. Applies attack power 2 to any unit, but that unit takes 2 damage. Again, could be good on the Arbalist. Have bandages as well. We're pretty healthy for favor. We may be able to get favor in other places in the city, so I'm actually going to take that. And where do we want to go with you? The Fountain had a heal option before, which we don't need. So why don't we go Shopkeeper? Apply Over Barrier 8 to a unit. So the enters combat with barrier and persistent barrier. Or spend 30 copper to gain 3. I think I'm going to take over barrier. And I'm going to put it on. Now I think the last fight we can use all 3 units. Arguably I should put it on the Arbalist because they're the weakest, but at the same time they're also going to be the guys at the back. The Guardian gives himself barrier. I'll put it on the Arbalist because they're weakest. Alright. Prepare the defenses. Go here. Teach a unit a new combat card. Or spend a favor to choose the unit. I think we'll just do this. Target combo 6 damage twice. Anything that's multi-damage, I think, is good. 1 punch Guardian, 3 damage 5 times. Why it... And that only costs 1? Why is that more expensive and rare, but it does less damage? Well, I guess because if they have armor, this may still do some damage, whereas this won't. I think the big enemy at the end does have a lot of armor. So maybe we should do fixed focus. I guess we would target an enemy with this directly. But Armor Shred 1... So if we use that to attack a weak point, we draw 2 cards as well. Oh, I think he does. The Behemoth does have armor. Maybe we should take that. All right. End of cycle 6. You're a big boy. 240 health, 1 armor. And we are using all our units. So you're going to put up 25 barrier and buff. Not sure what the number next to the buff means. I guess give you 25 stacks of a buff. He also has magnitude 3. So that controls how many aftershock cards he will put into our deck when he does possibly this buff. I'm not quite sure. But aftershock cards, we can't play them, and they deal 5 damage to our lantern if they're in our hand at the end of our turn. So it's pretty rough. I think we begin with a big punch. And then probably a reckless strike. Does more than a smite. Your dazed and won't do your auto attack, but that's okay. We're not being attacked this turn. We're gonna smite. And then we should play this because we've got a decent amount of favor. I am gonna... You start with 1 empowered. We're gonna want to put up as much block as possible on that, so... I don't know, again, who benefits the most from empowered? Hyper beam. Who benefits the most from empowered? The Arbalist, I think. Where are you? There. Why are you not... oh, you are doing your auto attack. This is the auto attack for the Arbalist. Okay. Okay, 16 damage, prioritizing units in the guard zone. So I guess we want you guys in there. That's a lot of damage. Does the fleeting attack power apply to our auto attack? I think it does. Wait, Hunting Blade. Who has? Oh right, yeah. Okay, so it's not because they're empowered. It's because they're in the guard zone. Yeah. Okay. We've half filled his stagger bar at least. Okay, yeah. Giant Slayer is better played from the guard zone. And then we'll move them back to the support zone anyway. Do I want to use To the Rescue though to move them there? Not really, because that's a really good card and we're a way away from redrawing it. I don't want to play that because I want to play it, save it for the... If I can, I want to save the empowered bonus for wherever it is. Heavy draw. I don't think we need the bonus stagger. Already got a 52% chance. Okay, well. Maybe we do. 16 damage. Ow. Now we've staggered you. Okay, so this guy has multiple weak points. So left arm, when destroyed, that resets the magnitude counter. So that's already triggered. So you can see we've got 3 aftershocks in our deck. Next time it triggers, he'll put 4 in and so on until our deck is just going to be filled with aftershock. And that's basically how we're going to lose the game. So we have heavy draw. So we'll play that now. Sorry, the other ones are right arm when destroyed. His attacks no longer inflict daze to our units. So you can see he's attacking a random unit in the guard zone, and he will apply dazed 2 to them. You can hit his dorsal vents. When destroyed, he produces less barrier. Or we can just go and try and burn his hit points down as quick as possible. I think we've got to reset magnitude because 4 magnitude is already pretty bad. Attack power, does that stay for the whole fight? We're using the empower of the lantern. If you haven't noticed before, as we hover over cards, the arrow shows us whose card it belongs to, for what that's worth. I think we've got to go. I mean, we could go with these guys, the Guardians, actually. Giving them 3 attack power would also be good. But I'm gonna go with the Arbalists. It's a shame I can't remove dazed from them. Let's actually, is applying armor shred now doing anything? Because armor shred counts down each turn. I don't think it is. I don't think this does anything if we play it. I want to save these though for getting rid of the aftershock cards. So I think we just end our turn there. Oh. Oops. After thinking through, thinking through everything, I completely forgot that he was attacking them. That's really bad. That's really bad. I think what it means is we lose all of their cards from our deck, obviously. So I guess the advantage of that is made our deck a little bit trimmer. But that's not good. That's not good. Okay, we put Bile Serum on you. And then we Reckless Strike the left arm. Okay, so let's reset the magnitude counter at least. He's not attacking anyone this turn. Just give these guys as much barrier as possible. Everybody being dazed is not great though. Okay, you are no longer dazed. 16 damage to preferably guys there. I think we've got to move these guys forward. At least they'll get barrier, but 9 damage times 4. It's really good. Wait, does he have to be empowered? I missed that. Empowered is required for Hyper Beam. Okay, so we can't play that. 16 damage. That is horrible. We've got to do that. God, it's all been absorbed by his flipping barrier and his armor. I really want to play this as well. I mean, we could move them there, then give them another 4 barrier. They've got the most barrier, 7. So they would be taking, what, 9 damage? Down to 11 health. Or we move them in as they are. on 13 health. I think we move these guys in. I mean, I could bury them twice, right? But this just seems like a great opportunity to do damage. So, fill up that stagger bar. So we'll do that. It hits so hard. So hard. Two aftershocks. I mean, I think I probably want to cycle them. Having said that, I do have plenty of barrier on the lantern. The biggest risk at the moment is our units just dying. He will now hit everybody in the guard zone, but will miss if there's nobody there. So these guys need to move out, for sure. We will reckless strike you, will we? Just thinking if we can stagger with these guys, then using this on the weak points is more valuable. Yes. Attacks no longer inflict daze. That would be helpful, although we're dazing ourselves more than anything. And I think if we target a weak point and we do more damage than the weak point has, that damage might just be lost. If we target this, we're doing 12, we're doing 36 damage to him. God. Still feels like a long way away. That's 24 damage. I don't know. I mean, not being dazed is good. So let's just take that out now. Yeah. I'm gonna hit twice. Yeah, rather than using a cycle here, I'm just gonna let them do damage to my barrier. If we survive this fight, obviously again this carries over into Biome 2. But we may not survive the fight. You are putting up more barrier. Oh god, everybody's getting dazed. If we could just get them... Mixed focus is these guys. We could remove dazed from everybody. So we do that. We do that. It's a shame we can't get the extra copy, but we can't. And then we do that. And then we hit you a lot. Nine damage times 4. I can't waste it on that. We gotta do that. Actually, maybe I should have just done both attacks on there. We got him anyway. Okay. I wasn't sure we were going to survive that. Good. Descend to the next biome. We can spend 3 favor to restore 25% of the missing force field. Or just restore 8%, which would be 3 restored. I'm going to pay that to restore as much as I can. And down we will go. Now in the demo, Biome 2, we can't get all the way through Biome 2. I think we can maybe get to this attack wave. And then that's the end. So let's do that. Let's keep going. And I'll show you the new biome. Which I think is quite similar to the old biome. There wasn't a lot of visual distinction. Draft a new unit. I've not seen you before. What do? A Lancer. Auto attack deal +3 bonus damage, but apply daze to self. Okay, we'll potentially have a way of getting rid of that. Boost Lance deal 10 damage, then the Lancer switches rows. Potentially inflicts 25 bonus stagger. Lance reload. If he's not dazed, gain a command. If he is, remove dazed and draw 2 cards. Next card you play costs 0 and you gain a rune. Lancer gains dazed 1. Back to back, apply fleeting armor 3 to another friendly and to self. So I guess he's a support unit then, apart from boost Lance. With a 4 damage auto attack in the zone. Let's take him, given I'm not at him before. There's another unit that increases damage according to the armor that they have, so he would synergize well with that unit, but we don't have that unit, so alas. Let's draft a new technology, so a new relic. Command banner. You begin each battle with a command banner card, which is an extra energy. Redrawing causes the card to be banished instead of being discarded. Interesting. Or Journey of the Seeker. Your next card costs 1 less favor. Still keep forgetting the name of that. It tells me right there. This turn, after you discard a card. Incinerator Forge sounds good to me. It's a good way of getting rid of debuffs, but it does mean we've got to be a bit more careful about recycling stuff if we may want it in future turns, I guess. Dead units restored to 20% health. That's great, because we have a dead unit, thanks to my negligence. You may need to take a bit of a rest before we bring you back. Having said that, Fountain. Toss in a health coin, restore 12 health to a unit. Let's accelerate the process a little. Send the envoy. I still don't know what these 2 other options down here are. Oh, okay, so this is to restock that. I will definitely spend 20 to gain 5 in 2 cycles, for sure. Why don't you go to another market? Gain 10 copper with a cooldown of 1, or try and charm them into giving me more, which probably won't succeed, so I'll just take 10. And then off we go on an expedition. So we could go and get another reactor rod, or we could go fight a super grub. Let's go do that, given we haven't done that yet. And actually our core is in a pretty good state. So yeah, visually it kind of looks the same. Obviously the enemies are slightly different. You, I think, had better sit out in the battle. We can only put 2 guys in. Do I want to try the Lancers, even though they feel like a bit of a support? I think they might be a bit of a dead option. Let's take those guys. You do have 2 armor each. Oh, hey, we could do Hyper Beam. I mean, we got to do it. Yeah. In fact, if we're going to stagger somebody, we should stagger the one who's going to do 9 damage. Who are you doing it to? You're actually not... Oh, he's going to prioritize guard zone units, but he will still hit somebody. So, yeah. Get hyper beamed. And then, who do we want to take the hit? I guess we want you guys to take the hit. So if you're going to get hit, we'll better give you a bit of barrier. But the auto barrier does trigger before their attack. I thought they got to do their actions before. I guess there's different timings. So the barrier triggered, then their attack, and then our attack. So yeah, the timing of these things can be different. 1 punch for 15, which can only hit the guy in the front. attack, so well, I guess we just do as much damage to the guy at the front as we can. 83% stagger chance, okay. That auto barrier coming before the attack is really useful. You will hit random guard zone unit and miss if we have nobody there. Can we just stagger you? Probably not, apparently. This fight's probably going to be over before we have the chance to get any benefit from that. I think we got to try for the stagger. We might, actually, with this. These days, so the cost has gone up. Yeah, 94% chance. Nice. Then... Actually, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that and just let the auto attack go. The auto attack might have killed on the birthday, so nobody is auto attacking. Yeah, that was a mistake, actually. Ability to remove dazed from everybody seems good. You're doing the most damage, so let's put that on you. Let's... we really need some... random guard unit misses if there's no units in zone. Oh, so we can reposition to avoid being hit. Let's try it. Oh, okay, that kills the card. However, that kills you. Let's try and get another attack. No. In that case, let's just do bandages on you and then reposition you. And we must be able to kill now. No problem. Super grub and a dream fruit. Okay, who wants the super grub? You can either give it to the caretaker to revive a fallen unit or heal, neither of which we need to do, or we can give it to the mentor to upgrade a unit action. Means upgrade one of their cards. I quite like these guys. What does the upgrade of a Reckless Strike do? 6 damage, 3 hits, gain dazed 1. 1 punch. Adds a temporary copy of 2 punch to your combat deck. I don't mind that. This is a rare as well. Sure. Do that. Dream fruit. Forget a card or heal. Yeah, actually, let's forget a card. Let's forget... let's forget a basic smite. That's kind of rubbish. And then go to the next cycle. Okay, new combat card. Flanking strike, 9 damage and applied dizzy 1. Receives extra stagger damage. Strafing shot deals 6 damage and move to the guard zone. There was a reason for having you in the guard zone on there, which is Giant Slayer. Or cavalry charge. Move to the guard zone, deal 12 damage and gain fleeting armor 2. I'm still not convinced by the Lancer. But I should try him. I should try him. So we can see what he's like. Spend 25. Welcome to the undermarket. Sure. We've discovered a new location. Nice. Okay. What is in the undermarket? Guard captain is interrogating some locals. Gain 20 copper, 1 bandages, or slink away. We have no money. We also have no bandages anymore. I think the money is probably more useful though, otherwise it's just going to be some things we won't be able to do. And investigator... You go to the market building. A noble in need. Give a noble in need 10 copper or pay nothing at all, hopefully. I'll give him 10. So this is obviously placeholder art, as it says. It's still a demo, that's cool. I think it's really generous. I mean, what, we've been going for nearly 2 hours now. And this is just one playthrough. And there are so many different ways to play. This is going to be a harder reactor rod to get than this, probably, based on the unit limit. So I'm going to go for the easy one. Maybe there's more rewards off the other one, though. Okay, what are you? I don't think I've fought you before. Enemy unknown. Indeed, I have not. Heavy plating receives only half damage from ranged attacks unless exposed, so the opposite of a flying enemy. Also, 5 armor. So, about armor shred. Did we ever take anything that has that? Because otherwise... Because otherwise, we need to be staggering, I guess. So we don't want the Arbalest because the range damage is obviously bad. Armor shred. So we'll definitely take you. And I suppose we want to see how the Lancers play, so we'll take them. I hope that's not a mistake. Okay, the Lancers need to be in the guard zone. You're not dazed, so we would gain an energy by playing that. But actually, energy is fine. What are you doing? Delayed damage intent. Applies a status that will apply damage later. Will affect all targets within its valid range, which is what? I don't know. I think cavalry charge is probably what we want to do, though. Followed by... but then the Lancer's going to switch back again, which we don't want. I don't want to use the empowered effect right now because I don't think anyone's taking damage immediately. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Well, okay, let's cycle it. Got 2 energy left. Okay, so we can play this twice. Once. Move back to the back. And then again, move back to the front. Able to stagger you, but still doing a decent amount of damage. End turn. So you did hit all of us. So we have 6 plague. We will take damage immediately after we end this turn. But maybe not if we kill you. Yeah, this is good with cards that cost a lot, I guess, which is not any of our cards. We can Reckless Strike. Break range protection. Okay, we don't care about that. Reducing armor to 0, though, we do care about. So I guess... Yeah, how much damage is this actually going to do then, when he's got 5 armor? 5. Okay, that was pretty terrible. We are out of favor, which makes this useless, so we may as well cycle it. And you as well. Oh wow, we have a lot of cards we can't play. In that case... Remove dazed from all units. Yeah, remove dazed from all units. Barrier on these guys because they've got the least health, although they do have 1 armor, I guess. And then we're taking some plague damage. I really want to get rid of that 5 armor. That's pretty horrible. And I wish I'd drawn that card that reduces the cost this turn. Now I've got two cost cards in my hand. Well, so 15 damage is going to be better. How much does 2 punch cost? 3, because we're currently dazed. Just give you more barrier. $20 damage minus 5. Let's shred some armor. $4. Oh, you are kidding me. Oh, I thought I had enough energy to pay 2 light barriers, but I don't. Wait! He shattered the lantern? Hang on. I didn't realize he damaged the lantern as well. Oh, I was so focused on my units. Wait, what? No. Acquire revenge battle to battle against later. Use the rally point to reinitiate a battle you lost previously. Or have faith to move on and hold fast, gain 1 favor. I'll take a revenge battle. I completely missed that he was putting that on the lantern as well. Fortunately, yeah, we just lose the battle. If our lantern is destroyed in one of these battles, then we lose the run, I think. Shoot. I had that happen to me once previously as well. I'd so focused on what was happening to my units, I didn't realize. But because most of the time the enemies can't attack the lantern. Yeah. Okay. I'll take a... I think Dizzy could be helpful. I'll take that. I could obviously take nothing. Let's take our chances in... Oh, I can't with you. Okay. Mine, collapse, or chance encounter. Okay. Let's go... Okay, we don't have much money either. Let's go to the Charm Merchant. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that. We could use a little more. Noble's Loft. Nobleman will be happy to begin the preparations immediately. Okay. Gain 30 gold or 30 copper in 2 cycles, or an ally in 1. 2 allies in 1. I need the money now. Revenge battle. We're gonna do a revenge battle. This time. Oh, you're still on the same health? Oh. Well, You're in trouble then. Vanguard and Lancers. At least I hope you're in trouble. The drawing a card is helpful. Yeah, okay, good. There we go, that was how it was supposed to go. Reactor rod computation chip. Reactor rod. 3 of them now. We're doing pretty good. 60 force field. Computation chip to the relic researcher to let us modify a lantern card. Let's upgrade one. Hyper beam, deal 25 damage, inflict 25 bonus stagger, consume all empowered for plus 10 damage. Bonus stagger for each past the first. Yeah, okay, probably not going to have that much. What else have you got for me? Powered 2. A bigger barrier, actually, may just be useful. And prepare the defenses. I don't think I want to draft another unit action. I've already drafted enough actions. Draw 2 additional cards at the start of the next battle. Or spend 4 to apply Lingering Faith. Where we draw a card every 3rd turn. 4 favor is a lot. I think I'll take the Prayer of Foresight instead. That's also an effect I haven't seen before. Okay, I think this battle is as far as we go in the demo. So, see whether we can survive it. What are you guys? You look like kind of weird Daleks. I think we need to take... Do we have any... We don't have any bandages, so that sucks that the Guardians are injured. Armor, 2 armor, okay. Otherwise, nothing special. It will quickly entrench into the ground and begin dealing tons of siege damage against your lantern. Oh, good times. I think it's... Oh, they can do so much damage, though. But for this fight, I think we're better taking the people who are on full health. At least we have 66 force field on the lantern, which is fantastic. Now, make sure I pay attention to who he's attacking this time. Random units in either zone, but will affect all targets within range. Does that mean he attacks everyone for 3? Or everyone in the same zone as the unit he picks for 3? Not sure. Given how relatively little health... Oh, I don't know. What do I want to do? I'm not sure I want to give the Lancer Days 1. I think it's a good time to use this. I think we do 10 damage. Yeah, 5 damage is kind of... 5 damage is kind of lame, because it's only 3 damage. We really want to move you up so you can do your action. Let's put some barrier on you. And let's put some barrier on you. And then 10. Yeah, I think everybody took 3. Okay, 11 damage to the lantern. We have to empower the lantern to do hyper beam. So let's do that. 27 damage, 25 bonus stagger. Maybe we can... Yes, stop it damaging the lantern. Hit that, greatly reduces regenerative potential because he's healing for 11. or stun for an extra 2 turns by destroying that. At the moment, it's kind of moot. We want to move you up. 5 damage is kind of bad, but yeah, we recycle, we burn it. So I'm fine doing that. I would be fine. They're dazed currently, so we remove dazed and draw 2 cards, but we've got no energy actually, so sadly, I think we just leave that there. I guess we could have removed dazed so they would have done their auto attack. That would probably have made sense. Okay, 10 damage. Which I think I want to stop if I can. Heavy slash is not bad. Cavalry charge will still do damage. It will. It's not very much. Okay, he's well within stagger range now. Imbue weapon. Hunting blade. Again, you're doing 10 damage to the lantern. So I'd like to stop that. I wish we had one of our multi-attacks. Heavy draw, almost the bottom of the deck. Draw a card, there's a good chance we're drawing a 2-cost card and we won't be able to play it. I think we just gotta try and stop you. 42. Yes. Heavy draw, great. That is what we need. Go on, hit him. He's exposed. He's not exposed anymore, and he's healed for 10. Oh. Six damage 4 times. However, he's got 3 armor, which is pretty bad. You're heading for 11 here. I mean, I think we just let you... Maybe we just focus on one of them. Three damage 4 times is 12. 12 for 2. Less than that for 3. So we just focus on him. He's got the lowest health. Maybe applying fixation is... Fixation lasts until it's applied to a new target. Maybe that's worth doing then. Focus on him. Just gonna let our force field take the hits. Okay, you put Miasma in there. When ignored, Miasma deals 2 damage to all friendlies. So we would like to burn those, I guess. Probably. Oh, we actually have no... Okay, I'm going to give you the attack power. Want a day? Oh, you're already dazed? Put some barrier on there for what it's worth. And then just delete these. That would let us play that. And it would give us another recycle, which will be useful. So we're focusing on you. It's tempting to burn the repositions because it looks like they're just going all out on the lantern. So I don't really need to move my guys around. But I also want to save that for burning the miasmas, really. So we'll just end there. Oh my god, you're dazed for so long. Can we hyper beam? Empower us come back in the same term as hyper beam, so we could. Do we need to though? Oh, you know what? I think we should. Hyper beam, and we're just gonna go for your weak point, which should kill you. Yep. And we'll stick some barrier on the lantern and be done. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, got another one. Fine. Do we... I think we really want to do heavy draw. We just want to hit you. If we do that, they move and they don't do their auto attack. Oh, they apply exhaust daze to themselves when they do their attack? Well, maybe we do then. Stop them doing their attack and then they won't exhaust themselves? Yeah, okay. Done. Okay, definitely staggerable. We could move him back here and then do dash attack to get the bonus stagger. We could also do that. We've still not got our multi-attack at the same time. Yeah, we don't need the stagger now. We'll stop him regenerating as much. We'll stun him for 2 more turns. You know what? Stop regenerating. Now halves the regeneration. I think we just go for the kill, honestly. And you know what? Do that, and then I can play that as well. And he's nearly dead. Ah, we could have gone for... Oh, okay. Auto attack gets the job done. Good. Nice, and we didn't even take much health damage. Well, I guess we were lucky that we had as much force field on the city as we did. Like we started at 60 or something. Otherwise, that fight would have been much rougher. And that is the end of the demo. So 3 cycles into Biome 2. Yeah, the full game will go to 3 biomes. Which I guess makes it quite a long game to play through once, although obviously I'm a little bit slower as I'm talking through here. I really like this game. It is really nice. You can see there we just unlocked this. And we also... How do the dissension levels work? we actually do that last run on a descension level? So rather than ascension levels, the game has descension levels, which makes a lot of sense given its title, to increase the difficulty. And then, yeah, there's all these things. So expeditions are deadlier, but you can now retreat during deployment. We'd already unlocked these. Start each run with emergency power on, allowing you to use the market immediately. Start with only 49 copper. Second units drafted immediately by Biome. 1 expeditions are harder, etc, etc, etc. You can see all the different kinds of things here. And there are also different origins, I think they call. So I guess different... maybe affect the different units that we can have, I'm not quite sure. It's only the votive is available in the demo. But if you're interested, check it out. I don't know when the full game is out. The demo is only available, I think, until the 11th of November 2024. So yeah, you may want to hurry up if you do, but I really liked it. But now, though, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, Speedy Lamy signing out. Bye for now.